check one other thing here. Yeah, let's just do this for now. Let me see. Just remind me towards the end of class, and we'll look into it. I can, yeah. Probably I'll probably update the grades after we take exam too, right? So we're in week 7, right? And basically all it is, whatever grades you see on Pearson, that's I'm just pulling the grades straight from Pearson. That's 90% of your grade, and then 10% comes from whatever I get from my colleague as far as Alex is concerned, right? Give me a moment. Okay. I mean, Alex is 10% of our grade, right? Let me see. What? Opportunity at Crafts. It's like 10 people in here. Okay. Um, so it sounds like somebody has an internship. So Mr. Land, I think he's doing like some kind of advertising. So just hit him up, see what he's talking about. It might be some kind of opportunity. That's honestly how Morehouse goes though. A lot of times, like Morehouse is like his own fraternity within and of itself, especially in a city like Atlanta. Like if you just kind of push and do networking, you always run into a brother from somewhere, and you usually can find somebody that's like if you, even if you don't do any kind of like fraternity or anything like that. And I don't know how all of that's working with like COVID, but yeah, that's kind of how Morehouse is like infamous for things like that, like just good networking, like always having somebody to connect with. Um, Let me see. I think we're streaming. That looks healthy. Okay, yeah. So we're in week 7, but that's how I'm going to calculate your grade. So whatever grade you see in Pearson, I'm pretty much going to pull those documents. I'm going to scale that to 90% of your grade. The other 10% comes from Alex. Um, I kind of treat you all like adults, right? So I kind of like lay the playing field. I set up the stage, and then I let you decide. You're an adult, right? This is money. This is I'm not going to treat you like high schoolers, right? Then you say that we have to stay. Again, my response to that is going to be I'm going to treat you like an adult, right? If you feel like you can get it somewhere else, I'm not going to make a big deal as long as you're checking in. The main things that I need from everybody: check in on the daily, get your assignment submitted promptly, and just keep checking in. And that's the main thing. I'm not going to make a big deal about the other stuff. I'm going to let you make an adult decision. If you feel like you can get this stuff on your own, I'm gonna let you kind of work that, right? I'm not gonna hound you. I'm not gonna make a big deal about it. Um, we're not here. It does. Our classes are not that long, and there'll be a clear moment where it'll die down, right? Like, because honestly, the format that we've been doing, we'll take the first part of class to just kind of introduce a new topic or idea, and then the second part of class we use it for like working on homework, right? So again, if you feel like you can do it on your own, but again, in college algebra, students always think they can do it on their own. I mean, honestly, I can't really speak on that because some students are able to get it on their own, but a good amount of students are not, right? But again, I'll let you work it. I'm gonna let you be an adult about it. You decide for yourself. And again, the main things that I need: you check in daily, get your assignment submitted, and I'm just gonna pull what you see is what you get, right? I pull the grades directly from Pearson, and that's on you. Let me hop over here. James. Yeah, that's usually how I run my classes. Even if we were in person, that's kind of what I do. Um, this isn't high school, so I'm not gonna hound you. Like, okay. All right. So I'll let you guys kind of do that. Be aware I am monitoring the chats. I can't get my words out today. And let's take some time to go through the next part that we need to do. Let me see. This is the wrong one. Let's go back. to change that header too. It's not 5.5, it's 550. Oh. But again, we don't really meet for that. It doesn't take up our lectures are not that long. Um, it doesn't take that much time. I would just plan to be here, even if you kind of like zone out. Just be present. Um, that's the best thing. This is where we are. Let's go like this. Let's add a page. Just kind of have an ear, listen in. I don't really hound you guys too much because I might say something that will trigger or jog your memory or something of that nature. But some of this stuff, trying to get it either on your, trying to figure it out on your own, or a second hand, it's just not going to fly. Trying to get it on your own is not. You're not going to be able to do that on your own. You're going to have to research, and then trying to get it second hand. That some of this stuff can be dangerous doing that as well. Okay. So, again, I'm going to monitor the chat. If I see it gets out of hand, I'm going to shut the chat down too. But it should be fine. Let's see. So, okay, last time we did, let's see. I think we're okay. Last time we did arithmetic operations on functions. So we just did like adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing functions. So now today we have this notion of, hang on a second. Awesome. Ugh, you are taking a long time to charge, but that's okay. Now we're going to explore this notion of what do we mean by composite functions, right? So composition of functions. So a common error that students do with this notation, they'll see this and they'll say, "Oh, it's multiplication." This is not multiplication, right? This symbol is not multiplication, and we are not distributing an x. Those are two common things that students do, and it just makes it worse, right? Okay, so what this notation means, this is read f of g of x, right? This just means the second function inside the first function. F of g of x, right? The second function inside the first function. Okay, that's the main thing there. And then with this slide, this is basically talking about the domain of a composite function. So say we have a set of input values x, and we pass them through this function g, and then we get a set of output values, g of x, right? Then we take those outputs and pass them through f, and then we're going to get another output, right? And so this output is going to be considered f of g of x. So the domain of g is going to be the domain of f composed g. There's one other thing that we need to add though, and we'll discuss that when we get to the part on domains for a composite function. All right. I want to say that you all should be able to like private message each other. Let me go like this. Security. Oh, maybe that's going to be somewhere else. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Let's keep going, right? What do we do earlier? Okay. So we have this f, we have this g, and we're asked to find each of the following. Okay. I think if we were on campus, yeah, I think we do. Will we still do on classes online? That's a good question, actually. I don't know if Morehouse is back open yet or not. I would imagine so, though. Yeah, like because I'm not in a classroom or anything. Whatever you would finish out the semester, however you started, or just kind of follow the prompts. I kind of want to do breakout rooms here. Okay, I think I know what I'll do. I know what I'm going to do. First, let me glance at something. Let me see what are we looking like. Let's try one more time. 27. If that were like 28.7. Let's do 8. Like 3 or 4 in a group. Okay. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make up one for this. I'm gonna just kind of walk you through one. I'm gonna make one up, and then I'm gonna let you guys work this one. And so it's a good idea to go ahead and screenshot the image that you see now. Go ahead and get a copy of this, because we're gonna break off into into groups momentarily. Let me just create an example for you to see. Um, I'm going to do, so I'm going to say alternative. I'm just going to make one up. And I'm going to do G compose G of, let's do -1. All right, I just made it up. All right. So I'm going to do this one in purple. Then we'll break off into groups. And depending on what room you get assigned to, that'll determine which one you're going to do. So let me go ahead and show the room assignments. So we'll do 6. Let me see if we're about 5. Yeah. So this will be room. When we break up, this will be room number 1 is going to do this one. This will be room number 2. This will be room number 3, right? So again, it's a good idea to go ahead and screenshot this. And then for the other 3, this will be room number 4. This will be room number 5. And this will be room number 6, right? So go ahead and screenshot this one as well. Everybody should have a copy of this one. Going once, going twice. And then everybody should have a copy of this one. All right. So let me do an example here to explain these type. And then I'll do one more example as well, right? So say we had G compose G of -1, right? What does this mean? This means the second function inside the first function, right? So this means G of, I'm going to do the second function in orange. G of -1, right? The second function inside the first function. Okay. So then off to the side, and let me just go ahead and add this as a favorite. I'm probably going to add all the colors as a favorite, but that's okay. So let me focus on that orange G of -1 first. If I did that off to the side, well, G of X is over there, so that would be -1 plus 1. That's ultimately going to be 0, right? So then what this is going to be G of 0, all right? And so G of 0, I'm just going to kind of continue over here. G of 0, let's back up. So this is going to be equal to x plus 1, but again, x in this case is 0, so then that final result will be 1, right? So this is just an example I made up. So if you get room, or you can just do it now, but if you get room 1, 2, or 3, 1, 2, and 3 will work similar to this. Let me go ahead and do an example for the next set, right? So it's also a good idea to have a screenshot of this. I'm going to do G of X, right? So I'm making one up. This is going to be D. This is an alternate. I'm going to do G of X, right? Again, what does this mean? This means the second function inside the first function. G of X, right? That's what it means. Okay. So then what's G of X in this case? G of X in this case is x squared minus 3, right? So then now we're going to rewrite the purple, but we're going to replace each x with a blank set of parentheses. And then what color goes into the blank parentheses? In this case, the orange goes into the blank parentheses, right? So then we have to expand that. Let me see if I can get it all the way. If we expand that out, let me see. So that's going to be x to the 4 minus 6x squared plus 9 minus 3 is going to ultimately be plus 6. Okay. So if we expand this all the way out and combine like terms, we finish with something like this, right? Okay. So again, hopefully you have a screenshot of this one. So if you get rooms 4, 5, or 6, you have this. So hopefully you have a screenshot of it. And then if you get rooms 1, 2, or 3, we have this, right? So we're gonna go ahead. Let me go ahead and make 6 different rooms. I think I usually have to go like this. I want to say breakout room. Hop over this way. I want 6 different rooms. Automatic. That's fine. Create rooms, right? Boom. Okay. So you should be able to go ahead and break out into your rooms, and we're gonna take about. Oh, hold on. So you're gonna receive a notification momentarily to break out into rooms. Let's actually take about 15 minutes. Let me see. Yeah, let's take 15 minutes because it kind of took them a little bit of time to do it before. And I'll just be coming around to each room. I'll be coming around. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and open up the rooms. Okay. What's wrong? Oh, you look like a sad mouse cookie. You feel like pointing. Get out of my face. All right, brothers. How you guys looking? Did y'all have any questions? Did y'all want to ask any questions? You okay? Before I go on to the next room? Are you not? Oh, I forgot. Okay, let me do it like this. Hang on, I'll be right back. Hang on, right here. Nope. Let me leave the room. Yes. All right. So you should be able to unmute yourself. I forgot I had that feature set. Did anybody want to ask any questions before I go into the next room? You guys okay? Okay, I'm gonna go into the next room. How you guys doing here? You should be able to unmute yourself. I think I disabled that feature, so you should be able to unmute yourself. Did you guys have any questions for me before I go on to the next room?
Trying to get it, but I'm struggling a little bit.
Which this is room 2, right?
Yes.
So you're doing g of f of 1?
Yes.
All right. So all it means is the second function inside the first function. So you could actually do f of 1 first, you get an answer, and then plug that answer into g.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
it. Yeah, that's all it is. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. So give it a go, and I'm gonna kind of go on to the next one. All right, brothers, how you guys doing? You should be able to unmute yourself. I turned that feature off so that you can unmute yourself. Did anyone have any questions before I go on to the next group? Did you want to ask any questions? You guys know what you're doing?
Yeah, I don't have any. Yeah, I think I got it.
You okay? Okay. All right, I'm going to mosey on. Let's go to room number 4. Yes. All right, how you guys doing?
It's like we're kind of stuck, but I think I had an answer. I'm not sure though.
Y'all are doing part A on the next example, so f of g of x. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you at?
All right. So basically, what I did was, I plugged everything in. It was 1 plus 2 parentheses x squared minus 3, and then that's gonna equal f of x squared minus 3, which is 2x squared minus 5.
Wait.
And then I squared the 2x plus 1 on both sides.
Wait. Did you plug in something for x? Like, did you do x equals 1?
Oh, okay. I got you. That's why I messed up.
Yeah, like this one x is not 1. It's staying generic, right? So we're doing the function g it's the second function inside the first function. So we're doing f of g of x, right? And then
all right, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. We got a few more minutes. I'm gonna hop over to the other two groups. And okay, that was 4. Let's go to 5.
What should I do it now?
All right, how you guys looking?
Yeah, we've been working on it.
Did y'all have any questions?
Really do. So far.
Which one are you guys working on?
All of us. Number 5. Walk us. You help us out.
What questions do you have?
Really, just how to,
So all it is, if we're doing g of f of x, all it is just the second function inside the first function. Right? So then all you're doing is basically taking your function g, replacing all the x's with the function f. Right? It's just the second function inside the first function. Right? That's all it is. And there's no number. We're not plugging in numbers here. You just got to do the best you can to simplify it. Take a few more minutes on it, and we'll work on it together. Okay?
All right.
They told me we're not working on it, but it don't matter. It's okay. It's like, I was like, All right, how you guys looking here? Did y'all have any questions? Is it okay?
Professor, how'd you get the x squared minus 3 squared? How did you get that squared?
Oh, okay. So what this is, hang on, I just found a typo of mine. What this is basically the second function inside the first function, right? Second function inside the first function. So if you're doing number 6, which is C on the second example, basically you're doing f of x, right? So you take the f of x and then you replace each x with the function f of x, right? So it's a function within a function. Yours is similar to what I did with the purple and orange, But instead of using g of x, you do the same steps with f of x and then simplify.
So you plug in f of x for x, so you just do the whole thing right after that, and then do you have 2 as the coefficient or whatever, or do you just leave that? Because I was confused on that.
Too. Yeah, that sounds about right, right? We're going to say 2 times 2x plus 1, right? You're going to have to distribute the 2, combine like terms, that kind of jazz. Take a few more minutes to kind of do the best you can with it, and then we'll take some time as a class to walk through it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. All right, let's go like this. Just the one. So what's the time? I still have 5 minutes. That's good. So we'll give our brothers a few more minutes to kind of get in. I think we got like right at about a minute to get back in, and then this will be the last example for the day, and then we'll use the rest of the class time to kind of work on problem set. So like if you have specific questions over the homework or Alex or anything like that, we can work on it at that time. So we've got about 46 seconds remaining. Okay, was that everybody? That looks like that was everybody. Okay. All right, so let's see how do we do, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna work through them, and hopefully you all talking about them beforehand will help it to sink in a little bit better. All right, so let's start with the first one, right? So with this example, we have f of g of 1, right? Okay, what does this mean? This is f of g of 1, right? The second function inside the first function. All right, let me see, is my audio? Yeah, okay. Yeah, second function inside the first function, right? So with this one, we could do g of 1 first, right? It's going to be 1 plus 1, which is 2. And then we can take that answer and plug it into f. So this is going to be f of 2. So then f of 2 is going to be x cubed. But again, the x in this case is a 2. So this answer is going to be 8. All right? And again, I am monitoring the chat, so if you have questions, feel free to ask it there. Let's go ahead and do B. All right? So B asks us to do g of f of 1. Again, what does this mean? Again, this is not multiplication. We're not multiplying by 1. What this means is the second function inside the first function. This means g of f of 1. All right? G of f of 1. All right? So then what's f of x? F of x is, so that's going to be, okay, so let's do this off to the side actually. If we do f of 1, that's going to be 1 cubed, which is just 1. So then f of 1 is 1, right? Then we take that answer. Now we're going to evaluate g of 1. That's going to be 1 plus 1. So it's going to be 1 plus 1. Ultimately, that answer is going to be 2. Okay. All right. So then C. C asks for f of negative 1. Where is the 2? Where does the 2 come from? Which 2? The green 2? Mr. Bell, you talking about the green 2? Green 2. Okay. So if we go back, f of g of 1, right? That means f of g of 1, the second function inside the first function. So I went on and did the green by itself first, right? You see it here. Okay. So if we do g of 1, that's where the 2 came from. Then we take that 2 and replace g of 1 with 2. So that's going to be 2 cubed, which is this guy. Okay. And then it's similar for part B, right? We have g of f of 1. Again, this means g of f of 1, right? So we did the f of 1 first. We got an answer of 1. Then we take that, we replace f of 1 with the answer, and then we pass that through the function g, and we get this result. Okay? Let's do another one. So we have this f of negative 1, right? Second function inside the first function. So this means we're going to do f of negative 1. All right? So off to the side, let's go ahead and do f of negative 1. That's going to be, it looks like it's -1 plus 1. Let me see. Oh, Shyster, wait a minute. Wait. Nope. Back up. Right here. This guy. So f of -1 is going to be x cubed. So it's going to be -1. -1 times itself 3 times ultimately is -1. Right? I know that's a lot of negativity. So this is going to be f of -1, right? And I think we just did that. So then ultimately that becomes that's going to be -1 cubed again, which is going to be -1. I think that's the answer there. And just to be consistent, okay, so we got 8, 2, and -1. You see the 8 there. Oh, that's the slide that got moved. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Let me see, this is slide 12, so it should be slide 13. 2 and -1 is probably this, isn't it? It needs to go here. Okay. So we see the 8, we see the 2. Oh, you got bumped up. Oh, you need to move. You go. In fact, I don't think I moved here. Give me a moment. Let me see. That looks good. That looks good. It's still there. So let's go back. Let's just click here. Watching the clock. Okay, so let's try this again. That's the one from earlier. Okay, we got 8, 2, -1. There's the 8, there's the 2, there's the -1. Okay. It was kind of glitching a bit. Okay. So then for the next set, right, we're here. All right, let's take a moment to work through these. So then for part A, we had f of g of x. All right, what does this mean? This means f of the second function inside the first function. So the green inside of f. Right? Okay. So what's our green function? Was g x squared minus 3. So we're going to do f of x squared minus 3. All right. So then what's the function f? F is 2x plus 1. Notice I did a blank set of parentheses for my x. Then we're going to plug in what color into the x? We're going to plug the green in, which is this x squared minus 3. All right. So then if we can distribute this 2 and simplify. We're going to get 2x squared minus 6 plus 1. Ultimately, we get 2x squared minus 5. Okay. Okay. So that was A. Let's go ahead and do B. We have g of f of x, right? What does this mean? This means g of f of x. All right? So what's f of x? F of x in this case is 2x plus 1. So now we're going to rewrite g and replace each x with the red part. So we have x squared minus 3. Again, we're going to replace. So, throwing a little bit of shade here, but like, and I'm saying this as a word of warning. Hopefully you guys can heed this. So like in my other location where I teach, you know, I'm always they're pretty much doing the same thing where we have to teach remote, and I kept saying like, and we would take whole class periods to try to put as much of this stuff in order, and like we were like, okay, hey guys, we need to go ahead and turn in any missing assignment. If you miss an exam or anything like that, do it now, because on Tuesday is going to be our last day. When we get out of class, I'm going to push grades, right? And so invariably you get students that procrastinate. I'm the same way. I definitely be struggling with procrastination. I definitely do that. Procrastination is the destroyer of all potential, something like that. Like when we procrastinate, then we shut everything down. So that's what the student is experiencing. Like they don't reach out. They kind of wait to the last minute. And now I push grades. Like I had to push the grades. We had to get them in by today before the end of the day. And so a student emailing me, I just did my exam too. I was like, yo, that's been open for like weeks. I don't know why you wait to the very last second. And like the reason it's so like disheartening is because the student is actually close to passing. And like if they had just done it like the day before, they probably would have passed. Like, and that's still procrastinating. But so I'm just sharing this with you so that hopefully, because I feel like you guys might be in a similar boat. The way you avoid that, just get your stuff in. Like if you know it's there, if you have access to it, just get it in. One thing that happens with Pearson is that as we get closer to like midterms and finals, you're gonna have a lot of classes and professors on Pearson at the same time. So it usually slows the service of Pearson down. So usually it's not working around midterms, especially around finals. It just stops working. So the recommendation is to get your assignments in early and be accurate, and then just be done with it. Wash your hands of it, right? But just do your best not to procrastinate. But again, it's only natural. Energy follows the path of least resistance. I'm not really mad. I don't take it personal. I've already done what I needed to do. But I try to help you guys as much as I can, you guys and gals. But I can't make you do anything. I can only set the stage and be of support and root for you guys. That's all I can do. And all I do, I don't really give grades. All I do, I just write down what you guys have been doing. That's all. Oh, this one's correct. That's not correct. I just add up the points and I write down what you guys did. Oh, they got this in on time. They get full credit. Oh, they were late. I got to take off points. That kind of stuff. But I don't give grades. Whatever you earn, good or bad, good, bad, or indifferent, it has nothing to do with me. You earned it, right? Good, bad, or indifferent. As humans, we tend to try to blame others whenever things don't go right. We try to blame others. But what typically happens is we do better when we take ownership, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. When we take ownership of the experience, then we realize that there's nobody else to blame. The only real scapegoat is ourselves. Like if I'm working on something and it goes wrong, whether it's a relationship or business or whatever, I do the best I can. Again, I do the best I can not to blame others. Because why sharing the blame when we can share in the glory? Instead of finding a scapegoat, let's just focus and get the job done. That way we don't have to play that whole game of whose fault it is. Let's just focus and share in the glory instead of why sharing the blame when we can share in the glory. Anyway, enough of the soapbox. I just wanted to try to encourage you all to get your stuff in promptly. So again, we're taking the function g and we're replacing each x with the red thing, right? So then if we expand, okay, what is the red thing squared, right? When we square something, what does that mean? Again, notice I keep saying, what does it mean? Because these are all terms and definitions, right? Terminology. So if we see something squared, that means multiply by itself twice, right? So if we write it out, it'll be kind of like this. What is it, -3? Again, multiply by itself twice, right? So this should look familiar. So then here we can do what's called FOIL, right? First, outer, inner, last. All right. So if we FOIL, we get the following result. And so like now I'm pausing. I'm like, okay, well, if I can like see what she did and tally the points, if her submitted work boosts her to the next grade level, I'll be open to a grade change. But if it doesn't boost it, whatever grade she had is gonna stand. Yeah. I mean, it's like the pleas fall on deaf ears past a certain point. But like earlier, then I'm more open to certain things. But past like certain deadlines and things, I don't know. It's kind of hard. It's really hard as a professor. Anyway, let's go ahead and expand this out. I am watching the clock. So if we expand, ultimately, let me see, 2 times 2, that's going to be 4x squared. Outer, inner, that's going to be 4x plus 1 minus 3. Ultimately, it looks like the final result for that one is 4x squared plus 4x minus 2. I did skip like maybe one step, but if you think about it and attempt it yourself, you should be able to arrive to a similar conclusion, if not the same thing. Okay? And I think we have one more. C asks us to do f of x. F of x. Let me add a page. So then C asks us to do f of x. All right? What is f of x? F of x is 2x plus 1. So again, what does this mean? This means f of x. You have a function within itself, feeding back on itself, right? So what is f of x? F of x is 2x plus 1, right? So then we're going to plug that red into the function f. Again, the function f is 2x plus 1, and then we plug in the red, which is 2x plus 1. It seems a little recursive, but that's how we work this one, right? So then now we're ready to just use algebra to simplify. We can distribute the 2. That's going to be 4x plus 2 plus 1, 4x plus 3. Okay. I think that's it for that one. Let me do like this really quickly. Yeah, I'd like to get this on one page. So hopefully the breakout rooms gave you a chance to think about it before we did it together, and it helped it to sink in a little bit better versus just hearing me monotone the whole time. If you have dry red eyes, use clear eyes, and you know, if I'm talking like that the whole time, I know that can be kind of a drone. So I intentionally sometimes will do things to just switch up the rhythm as best I can. I mean, I can even do better, but you know, this is fine for now. Okay, let's do like this paper. So we have about, if it's 6:30, honestly, I only want to keep you for like 10 more minutes, right? Let me go ahead and load a copy of this for you guys. Let me see. We got 2x squared minus 5. We got 4x squared plus 4x minus 2. And the last one was 4x plus 3. Right there. Okay. So let me make this note. We stopped here. What's the day? Tuesday, September 29th, 2020. This was for the 5:15 course. So we want to start here. Thursday. Then it's going to be October 1st, 2020. That's not a 20. At 5:15. Okay. So just kind of hang tight for like 10 minutes. If you have specific homework questions or questions from Alex or anything from questions on anything from Pearson, now is honestly a good time to ask those questions. Let me go like this. And feel free to unmute yourself to ask questions. Otherwise, I'll just be nearby and just kind of just chillax for like 10 minutes, and then I'll let you go. I don't mind letting you go like 10 minutes early because that's usually what I do. Okay. Let me go ahead and load a copy of this for everybody. Share, send it to box. This one, notes. This is week 7. Looking good. Okay. So yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream as well.